Whoops. All right, it is time now for Fantasy Insurance, presented by GEICO, where we provide you, the fans at home, some very good roster insurance options. With half a dozen teams on a bye, as we mentioned, got you covered at every single position. Michael Fabiano, give me 2 potential streaming quarterbacks.
Oh, I will give you 2, Utah. At number 1, we're going with Jared Goff against the New York Giants. That's a really good matchup for Goff, and I do believe he can give you 18-plus fantasy points. In fact, this is a guy who has scored 18-plus in 2 of 3 road games, and the Giants have allowed a top 10 fantasy quarterback in 4 straight games. I also like Jacoby Brissett against the Houston Texans. They have had really a lot of struggles in terms of stopping quarterbacks this season, giving up an average of over 23 fantasy points per game to that position.
I mean, you think about the defensive line there for the Texans as well. I think it's a
no
great
bueno.
matchup. Yep, no good. Marcus Grant, streamable running backs.
How about I give you 2 from the same game? We'll start with Kenyon Drake, who slides in as the starter now that Jay Ajayi has picked up and moved to Philadelphia. Look, this is not about ability. This is more about opportunity, because the Raiders are not a good run defense, and we know Drake's going to get a lot of opportunity there to get the football. The other guy, though, is the guy right behind him in that pecking order, and that's Damian Williams. If you're looking at a PPR situation, Williams is probably the guy with more upside here. He's the guy who's going to be the pass catcher, kind of the third down back in this rotation. But make no mistake, both these guys are going to rotate in. It's going to be maybe kind of medium-sized volume for them. And again, this is about them playing the Raiders, not necessarily any newfound belief in the Dolphins' offense.
All right, there you go. Don't miss Fab's Fives running backs for desperate owners a little bit later. Akbar, give me 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, I was going to start with Paul Richardson. I think this is going to be a big week for Russell Wilson, and I think that his wide receivers are going to be the benefactor of that, right? They're going to go out there and they're going to get some, Paul Richardson more particularly. But then on the other side too, I look at the wide receiver for the Rams and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, to me, is going to be outstanding, especially Jared Goff. He seems to have more of a command in the offense. Now, we've seen some up and down weeks from Cooper Kupp, but this is going to be his week, especially in the matchup. No Janoris Jenkins in this week. Look for Cooper Kupp to be that guy.
I'll give you 2 tight end plays here for you out there. Ed Dixon versus the Falcons. And again, this is, again, because Kelvin Benjamin no longer part of that offense, I think they try to utilize Ed Dixon in the Carolina passing attack. Almost 6 targets per game over his last 4 games. I like the volume, and again, if you're desperate at tight end, why not Ed Dixon? I'll also give you Tyler Higbee. We're picking on the Giants, man, for whatever reason. Tyler Higbee versus the Giants. Oh, my goodness. He had 13 yards total in his last 2 games combined. So why am I saying Tyler Higbee? Well, listen, the Giants have given up 8 touchdowns to the tight end position in 7 games thus far. They have given up a tight end touchdown in every single game. A fellow by the name of Jeff Hireman has a touchdown versus this Giants defense. I like Tyler Higbee in this matchup. All right, that was Fantasy Insurance presented by GEICO.